the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Susan every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
NPA Regional Secretary killed in Camarines Norte clash. PAF C-130 delivers relief goods for Lamion fire victims in Tawi-Tawi. NDRRMC says 9.2 million in aid reaches Basham-affected families. Pag-ibig members' savings hit a record high of 160 billion pesos in 2025.
Good day, everyone, especially to our troops at Camp Emilio Aguinaldo in Quezon City. Today is Thursday, February 12, and this is AFP Community News, your source for the updates on the armed forces and other developments across the country. In behalf of Rof Suzon Abay, this is Jai Simbahon here to bring you today's stories.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And the 9th Infantry Division reported the death of a high-ranking New People's Army leader during a clash with government forces in Camarines Norte on Tuesday, February 10. The slain rebel identified as alias Ino, Secretary of Sub-Regional Committee 1 of the Bicol Regional Party Committee. The 15-minute firefight took place in Barangay Colasi, Mercedes, and was conducted by the 902nd Infantry Brigade with the support from the Philippine National Police. According to Major Roldan, the rebel leader had repeatedly refused government offers to surrender. The 9th Infantry Division vowed to continue intensified operations in the region and urged remaining NPA members to lay down their arms.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And the Philippine Air Force C-130 aircraft delivered the relief supplies for families affected by the Lamion fire in Cotabato City at Sanga-Sanga Airport in Bungao, Tawi-Tawi. With the help of the Philippine Air Force personnel, the team unloaded 150 family food packs, 150 sacks of rice, and 600 sleeping kits provided by the Ministry of Social Services and Development. Also delivered were school materials including ECCD learning kits from the Ministry of Basic, Higher and Technical Education and 250 hygiene kits from the Office of the Civil Defense. Officials said additional relief items are expected to arrive in the coming days to support families affected by the fire.
DWDD Armed Forces News. Armed Forces Radio.
And now let us hear some information from Joanne about Marine Battalion Landing Team 8 transitions from combat readiness to community recovery during APEX 05-26. Joanne?
Following the conclusion of the Archipelagic Coastal Defense Preparedness Exercise 05-26, the Marine Battalion Landing Team 8 or MBLT-8 deliberately shifted from intensive combat operations to non-combat community support activities in areas surrounding the exercise venues. This phase simulated the transition from wartime to peacetime operations, reflecting post-conflict recovery and stabilization efforts. As part of this transition, MBLT-8 conducted a community outreach program across several barangays and schools directly affected by the exercise in Ilocos Norte. Outreach initiatives included the information drives, free haircuts, feeding programs, blood pressure screening, coastal cleanup operations, and the distribution of books and toys to children. These efforts address immediate community needs while promoting health awareness, environmental stewardship, and social well-being in the post-exercise setting. The program also served as a gesture of gratitude to local residents for their cooperation and support during the APEX 05-26, which contributed to the safe and successful execution of the exercise. This is Jan Sagak reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Joanne.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And the 4th Mechanized Battalion, under the leadership of Lieutenant Colonel Eugene C. Flores, continues to provide vital support for relief operations in areas of Iligan City affected by Typhoon Bashang. Troops have been deployed to assist with manpower and transportation to ensure aid reaches those who need it most. Relief efforts include the distribution of food packs, clean drinking water, and essential supplies, as well as clearing debris from roads and damaged properties. Battalion personnel are also supporting medical teams in providing care to affected residents.
DWDD. Armed Forces News.
And the 86th Infantry Battalion, in coordination with personnel from the 2nd Regional Community Defense Group, successfully conducted its second amnesty caravan for former rebels in the province of Quirino. Beyond the amnesty process, the caravan highlighted the government's whole-of-nation approach, delivering concrete assistance and support services through various partner agencies. Among those who extended support were the Office of the Vice President Cagayan Valley, Provincial Government of Quirino, Provincial Agricultural Office, Department of Agriculture, Provincial Social Welfare and Development Office, and the Public Attorney's Office, Quirino District.
DWDD. Armed Forces News. Armed Forces Radio.
From Meljoy, more updates about BRP Waray transports vital construction materials to Calayan Island. Meljoy?
Yes, good afternoon. The Northern Luzon Naval Command, through the Philippine Navy vessel BRP Waray LC-288, successfully transported an additional 64.15 tons of cargoes to Calayan Island, Cagayan. Following the initial transport of 15.6 tons of rolling cargoes on February 1, 2026, BRP Waray transported a second sortie, unloading approximately 64.15 tons essential materials, including 1,150 sacks of cement, 270 sacks of feeds, 250 GA sheets, 75 pieces of laminated wood, 300 pieces of steel bar, and 2 pills of poison paint. Carried out in coordination with the local government unit of Calayan, a total of 80 tons of cargoes were successfully transported and delivered to support ongoing and planned construction projects in the municipality of Calayan Island. These materials are expected to contribute significantly to infrastructure development and improvement of basic services for the local community. The successful completion of this transport operation underscores Northern Luzon Naval Command's continued commitment to supporting national development efforts and strengthening government initiatives in geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas, in line with the Philippine Navy's mandate of service to the nation. This is Meldry Nasho Arroco reporting for AFP Community News. One AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Meljoy.
DWDD. Armed Forces News.
And the 77th Infantry Battalion conducted a West Philippine Sea Gallery exhibit at the Mariano Marcos State University College of Aquatic Sciences and Applied Technology. The exhibit aims to strengthen student awareness of the West Philippine Sea through informative visual materials. Featured in the gallery were photographs, maps, and informational materials that show the geopolitical, environmental, and economic significance of the maritime area. Students explored the exhibit to gain a clearer understanding of issues related to maritime sovereignty, marine resources, and national security.
DWDD. Armed Forces News.
And for our national news,
DWDD. National News.
the government and other stakeholders have so far provided more than 9 million peso worth of assistance to families affected by Tropical Storm Bashang and the shear line. The National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council said the assistance has been provided to 1,197 families in Western Visayas and Caraga. The number of deaths remained at 12, with 7 confirmed and 5 still undergoing validation. Families displaced by the combined effects of Bashang and the shear line remained at 182,352 families in 7 regions nationwide.
DWDD. National News. Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let us hear more from Leonor about 53rd Infantry Battalion troops boost financial readiness through TINE on financial literacy. Leonor?
Infantry Battalion recently conducted a troops information and education session on financial management and literacy at the headquarters in Camp Major David Sabido. The program was led by Chief of the 9th Finance Services Field Office, Finance Center, Philippine Army, Lieutenant Colonel Ruthville Orbian. Lieutenant Colonel Orbian provided the troops her guidance in budgeting, savings, responsible financial practices, and long-term financial planning to help them make informed financial decisions. These initiatives reflect the 53rd Infantry Battalion's dedication to holistic troops development, ensuring that soldiers remain not only mission ready but also financially informed, disciplined, and resilient for the benefit of themselves and their families. This is Leonor Tanap reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Leonor.
DWDD National News.
And members of the Pag-ibig Fund collectively saved a record 160.41 billion pesos in 2025. This marks a 21% increase from the previous year and the highest savings collection in the agency's history. Pag-ibig Fund said the milestone was driven largely by the sustained growth of the voluntary savings, particularly under the MP2 savings program. Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development Secretary Jose Ramon Aliling emphasized the strong performance reflects members' continued trust in the agency's saving programs.
DWDD National News.
And Education Secretary Sonny Angara said quality education and learner safety remains a priority under the administration of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. Angara said this was shown by Marcos's decision to prioritize key education and child welfare and protection measures. This includes bill on classroom construction, anti-online sexual abuse of children, and expanded education assistance. The DepEd chief said the administration's legislative priorities reflect a comprehensive approach to improving access to education while strengthening learners' protection.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
And now some information from Jess of Solcom about 2nd Infantry Division. Welcome Civil Society fact-finding mission in Abrad Ilog. Jess?
Yes, good afternoon. The 2nd Infantry Jungle Fighter Division welcomed the conduct of legitimate fact-finding missions by civil society organizations in Abrad Ilog, Occidental Mindoro, following recent encounters in the area and the rescue of Filipino-American Chantal Anicoche. According to the division, the participating groups formally coordinated with authorities, complied with established protocols, and conduct courtesy calls with local government units prior to entering affected communities. The mission included representatives from the academy, youth sectors, and recognized civil society organizations. 2ID spokesperson Colonel Michael Aquino stated that the division supports transparent and lawful fact-finding initiatives, emphasizing that such effort helped clarify circumstances on the ground and counter misinformation. The 2nd Infantry Division reaffirmed its commitment to safeguarding communities, protecting civilian, and supporting initiatives anchored to truth, due process, and public welfare. This is Just from Solcom reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jess.
DWDD National News.
And Malacanang assured the public that the administration monitoring will remain stringent over classroom construction under the new Department of Education Local Government Units Partnership. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro said President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. reminded local officials that while they have authority and budgetary control to implement the projects in their areas, this does not mean that they will operate without oversight. Castro explained that this is a program of DepEd and the LGUs, so the President will keep a close watch. She also added that the President will continue to supervise compliance with technical standards and national guidelines.
DWDD National News.
And Light Rail Manila Corporation rolled out a workforce inclusivity program for persons with disabilities. LRMC said a program dubbed Project PWD, promoting workforce diversity, will deploy PWDs as station service aides with the goal of providing gainful employment opportunities for these individuals. Under the program, station service aides will be engaged in part-time employment of 4 hours a day for a duration of less than 5 months. The agency emphasized that by empowering these individuals to take on vital roles, such as ambulant ticket sellers, LRMC is creating a platform where unique skills contribute directly to the community.
DWDD. National News. Armed Forces Radio.
And now let us hear more updates from Shira about Naval Forces Eastern Mindanao hosts a shipboard tour for second batch students of La Escuela Global Academy. Shai?
Yes, good afternoon. The Naval Forces Eastern Mindanao recently conducted another shipboard tour and static display for students of La Escuela Global Academy Incorporated. A total of 132 participants attended, including 114 pupils from grades 3 to 6 and grade 10, along with 18 teachers and parents. During the activity, students and their guardians were oriented on basic naval capabilities, selected armaments, and the vital role of the Philippine Navy in protecting the country's maritime domain while fostering community engagement. Personnel from the Naval Special Warfare Unit 7 also showcased special operations equipment, giving participants a closer look at the Navy's specialized roles, sparking curiosity and enthusiasm among the pupils. This ongoing initiative aims to instill in young learners a sense of service, discipline, and patriotism while strengthening civil-military relations. This is Shai Rivera reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Shira.
DWDD. National News.
And the Department of Labor and Employment urged companies to allow their employees with children less than 5-year-old to be excused when they accompany their kids to be vaccinated against measles rubella. Dole said employers should support the measles rubella supplemental immunization activity of the Department of Health by allowing working parents to have their children vaccinated. It added that parents should be allowed to take leave as well when they must care for their children due to adverse effects or reactions to the vaccine on the day after vaccination. On the other hand, Dole also urged companies to open their workplaces to the MRSIA of the DOH as it can form part of their occupational safety and health or family welfare programs.
DWDD. National News.
And the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation is implementing stricter advertising controls and expanded responsible gaming measures as the Senate scrutinizes the social and financial risk posed by online gambling. PAGCOR Chairperson Alejandro Tenco told the Senate panel that gambling advertisements are already banned during primetime television and radio hours. Tenco added that discussions with industry stakeholders are ongoing on whether to extend the ban to all broadcast hours. Meanwhile, PAGCOR Electronic Gaming Licensing Department Officer in charge, Jeza Maris Fernandez, said the regulator closed gaps that previously allowed players to access platforms before identity checks were completed.
DWDD. National News. Armed Forces Radio.
And now let us hear more from Spencer about 17th Infantry Battalion leads Youth Environmental Initiative in Bagao, Cagayan. Spence?
The 17th Infantry Battalion successfully facilitated the continuity component of Project Kabataan para sa kalikasan in Barangay Karupian, Bagao, Cagayan. The activity was made possible through close coordination with the Bagao Municipal Police Station, the 204th Maneuver Company of RMF FB2, key local stakeholders, barangay officials, as well as the KK.Y FP Bagao and the Municipal Environment and Natural Resource Office. Project Kabataan para sa Kalikasan actively engage communities in environmental conservation initiatives, encouraging collection action while promoting environmental awareness and responsibility among the youth. Furthermore, the 17th Infantry Battalion's strong partnership with local governments, youth organization, and community stakeholders underscore a shared commitment to both environmental protection and youth empowerment. This is Spencer, reporting for AFP Community News. One AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Spencer.
DWDD National News.
And President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. remains firm in holding those responsible for alleged irregularities in flood control projects accountable. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro said the president has not lost interest in pursuing charges against individuals involved in the controversy. Castro said PB has yet to finish reviewing the report of the Independent Commission for Infrastructure, noting that the document is lengthy. She also refuted claims that the palace has supposedly shifted its focus away from the filing cases in connection with the flood control project.
DWDD National News.
And the Department of Foreign Affairs cautioned Filipinos seeking overseas employment to be vigilant against job offers that may secretly involve recruitment into foreign armed forces, including positions guised as ordinary civilian jobs. In an advisory, the DFA stressed that involvement in foreign conflicts carries serious risks. This includes grave physical danger and legal consequences. It added that recruitment into foreign armed forces, whether directly or indirectly, may violate Philippine laws and lead to loss of citizenship. The statement was issued following the circulation of a video on social media showing Raymond Gumangan from Alcala, Pangasinan, narrating that he was recruited for a logistic role but was given a different assignment when he arrived in Russia.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
And we have some updates from Gina about 94th Infantry Battalion joins turnover of improved access road project in Cabangcalan City, Negros Occidental. Gina?
Yes, Jai, the 94th IB joined the turnover ceremony of the sub-project improvement of Access Road Batch 4 Cycle 2 held at Purokpayong, Barangay Kamingawan, Cabangcalan City, Negros Occidental. The event was graced by Mayor Benji M. Miranda, Vice Mayor Divina Gracia S. Miranda, members of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, and barangay officials of Barangay Kamingawan. The newly completed access road is set to improve local connectivity, provide safer and easier transportation, and enhance the delivery of basic services, supporting the overall development of the community. This is Gina reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Gina. From our reporter on the ground, let us hear the report of Jimboy about 505th Search and Rescue Group facilitates CSSR training at Zamboanga City. Jimboy?
The 505th Search and Rescue Group successfully conducted a 5-day collab structure search and rescue familiarization training for 20 personnel of Tawismin and AAB Santa Maria and Tawismin Zamboanga City. The training included essential rescue principles, safety protocols, search technique, and hand-on breaching exercise in simulated collapse structures. The activity strengthened Tawismin operational readiness and highlighted the 505th SRG ongoing commitment to building rapid response team capable of saving life and safeguarding communities. This is Jimboy reporting for AFP Communities, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jimboy.
DWDD National News.
And for our final news, the National Commission for Senior Citizens handed over a 100,000 peso cash gift, each to 4 ETA centenarians in Capas, Tarlac. Aside from the monetary benefit, the NCSC also handed over felicitation letters from President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. in recognition of the centenarian's milestone. The NCSC chairperson and Chief Executive Officer Maria Merceditas Gutierrez said the commission acted promptly on the applications of the ETA beneficiaries in accordance with the provisions of the ECA.
DWDD National News.
And that's all for today's broadcast. Thank you for joining us, especially to our audience in our DWDD AFP Radio Facebook page. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for more updates, same time, same station. Again, this is Joyce Simbahan for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines. Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community.
Mga katropa, alam mo ba na ang DWDD 1134 kHz AFP radio